I'm here today with Uli Jon Roth to talk about his current tour, his book, his guitar playing. How's things going with you today?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
How are things going with you?
Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, thank you. We're here in Canada. I'm going to Quebec today. Almost there. I'm on my tour now.
How has the tour been so far? Because you've been on the road already for a while. You still have a few more dates to go, including May 10th in Toronto. So how's the tour been?
It's been great. It's probably my best American tour so far, North American. We haven't started Canada yet. That happens today. 4 dates in Canada. So yeah, everything's fine.
Do you have any expectations for the Canadian dates?
Expectations?
Yeah, is there anything that you're looking forward to when it comes to playing in Canada in these cities?
Well, I always enjoy playing Canada, so but every city and every date is different. So I'm not a person of expectations. I don't expect anything. I just go and play, really, and then afterwards I know, whether it was good or bad or in between.
I'm sure every show is good, and I'm sure all the fans are really enjoying you being on tour and playing these shows.
So far, that's the case.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's having a great time. On May 10th, you're playing in Toronto, a city that you probably know well. Playing in Toronto, playing in front of a Toronto crowd. For those planning on attending the show, can they look forward to when it comes to your live performance?
Yeah, we're playing 2 shows that evening, but with 1 ticket. So you can expect a long show with an intermission, and the first half is completely different from the second half. The first half is my solo show, which is an evening with Uli Jon Roth, which is featuring a lot of guitar stuff, including classical pieces and new pieces by myself, and also a brief introduction to my new book, which is called In Search of the Alpha Law. And the second half is with a full band, and we're playing my early Scorpions and Electric Sunstar.
Have you received different? I'm sure you have different reactions to these two sets. Which one has connected perhaps a little bit more with the fan base from your standpoint?
Yeah, that changes from day to day. Usually, it's about even the reaction. When we play theaters with a seated audience, very often the first half of the show is what gets the most applause. And when it's standing venues, more rock venues, it's the second half. So, it's about 50-50, I would say, at the moment.
How have you managed with such a long tour and such a demanding set? Is it difficult to stay in shape and allow your body to recoup after each and every single night? Because it's a long set.
It is, let's put it this way, it's not easy. It's quite a challenge, and it's a challenge physically, and it's a challenge mentally. But I'm up to it, and so is everybody else on the bus. So we're coping with it, and we're doing our best, and it's working.
Yeah, the show must go on, like they say, and at the end of the day, the fans are the ones winning because they're getting to see 2 different sets from you, and they're getting their money's worth, if you will.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned your book, In Search of the Alpha Law. Can you tell us a little bit more about the book and what it entails?
Well, the book will come out directly after the tour. It's being printed very soon. We're selling vouchers for it on this tour. And the book is quite a big production. It's 600 something pages, quite large, coffee table format, with at least 1,000 images and a lot of writing. So there's a lot of information in there. It's not biographical, so it doesn't. I'm not talking about myself, but I'm talking about the things that I found to be true during my lifetime. You know, it's a bit of it's got a philosophical touch. Right. Also, there's a lot about music in there, metaphysics of music and other aspects. It's quite a wide scope, so it's not something you can explain in a nutshell in a sentence or two. It's unusual.
So what's more challenging, writing a new album or creating this book?
Reading the book? You mean writing the book?
Yeah, writing the book or writing a new record.
It's both challenging. It always depends on the way you look at it. You know, the book is a different kind of assignment, and it's also different to climb. And an album is never easy in my experience. It's always something that takes a while before one is happy with it. You know.
Mm-hmm. How long did it take you to write this book? How long has it been in the process?
This book I started many years ago, but in a serious way, I wrote it during lockdown. I started right at the beginning of lockdown, and I ended at the end of COVID. So it was like a 2-year process, approximately, start to finish.
Wow, that isn't. I mean, I guess you put your time during the lockdown to good use.
Yeah.
With nothing else to do.
Well, I could have done music, but I chose to write the book, you know, and I didn't do any music. So there you go.
Let me ask you a little bit about Sky Academy. How much does teaching others help you develop your own skills?
It doesn't really help me with my skills, but it certainly helps me in understanding things, because it's one thing knowing something instinctively, and it's another having to explain it to somebody else, because then you have to start looking at it in an analytical way, and it's a completely different process, and I find that very, very helpful and very interesting. So the answer is that I've learned a lot while I'm teaching, you know. That's
As you probably realized during this tour, you know, you've been an inspiration to many guitar players out there, and the way you're putting this set together really allows fans to see the different sides of you as a guitar player. Is there anybody out there right now that you enjoy listening to when it comes to guitar playing?
There are a lot of young talents at the moment, you know, that are emerging. You can see that on YouTube. Technically, you get some amazing feats of dexterity. Musically, I haven't really seen anything that's too exciting recently. But then again, I'm no expert in these things. I most things cannot pass me by because I live in my own world, and I don't really look for inspiration, from that side.
You're living in your own little bubble. I have one last question for you. I know you're on the bus, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. And once again, for those in Toronto listening to this, there's going to be a show at Lee's Palace on May 10th, Friday. Don't miss it. But my last question for you is, what advice would you have for an aspiring guitar player that perhaps is taking the first couple of steps?
Well, it depends on what you want. It depends on what your main interest is and your main goal. Do you want to become a great guitar player, or do you want to make a living doing music? Those two things are very, very much opposed to each other in many ways,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm no expert on the music business. There's a lot in it nowadays that I don't understand. I don't think I've ever fully understood it in the past either, and I'm not really so interested in the business side of things. But if you want to make money and a living, then you need to be interested in it, and you need to understand these things and make the effort. Musically, if someone wants musical advice, I'm more interested in artistic expression. So I would, I'm looking for people who have an imagination and who can come up with new ideas and new concepts of guitar playing or music. I would think that would be very welcoming,
Mm-hmm.
Just learning the instrument, I think that's for someone as well, as a hobby or so, but I'm not really so interested in these things. I'm more interested in the stuff that's beyond that.
Well, I think that's a great advice, even though sometimes the way you're presenting it may not be as clear to some, but I think there's good information there. I think at the end of the day, you got to follow your heart. I think that's a little bit of what you're saying, and then depending on what your final goal is.
Yeah. It really
Well,
depends on what you want, what your goal is. And if you need a goal, and if you have a goal, then you have to find a way how to get there.
mm-hmm.
And for every person, the answer is different because every person has a different skill set, a different level of talent, and a different destiny and a different life. And lives at a different time, It's different if you're born in the year 2000 or if you're born in 2007. Your life will be very different because
Mm-hmm.
you are different and you're growing up in different.
Yeah. What surrounds you? Yeah, what surrounds you affects you as a person and as a guitar player, and therefore the path that you will take. Uli Jon Roth, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Once again, May 10th in Toronto, Lee's Palace. It's 2 shows for the price of 1, basically. It's a long evening, but a fun evening with one of the best guitar players out there. So for those of you that haven't picked up a ticket, go grab a ticket, and all the best with the rest of the tour.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Have a safe journey, and all the best with your book release as well.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.